The first time Lieutenant Kade Mercer saw the alien girl, she was standing alone in the corner of the mess hall, picking delicately at a tray of synth-sized protein cubes with her slender, pale green fingers. Her tentacles, 8 of them, long and shimmering with an iridescent sheen, curled gently around her shoulders like living jewelry. Most of the humans gave her a wide berth. Kade, however, had never been good at staying quiet when something caught his interest. He approached with a steaming cup of recaf and an easy grin. "Your tentacles look great today." The mess hall went silent. Every head turned. Conversations paused. A spoon clattered to the floor. The alien girl, designation Enshai, a diplomat from the Murellan Consortium, slowly turned her luminescent eyes toward him. They were facetted like a dragonfly's, golden with flickers of purple. Her tentacles tensed, coiled tighter, then slowly relaxed. "You are complimenting me?" she asked, her voice soft but melodic, like wind chimes caught in a summer breeze. "Yes," Kade said, unfazed by the scrutiny of his fellow crewmates. "They shimmer like sunlight on ocean water. Pretty amazing, actually." She tilted her head, studying him. A strange warmth bloomed beneath her green skin, a subtle hue of rose creeping up her neck. The tentacles unfurled slightly, and the ends twitched, delight. Nervousness. "You are the first human who has spoken to me with warmth," she said. "Most find my form off-putting." "I've seen uglier things in a med bay," he said with a wink, then immediately regretted it. But she laughed, a clear, cascading sound that rippled across the room. The tension broke, conversations resumed, and the mess hall returned to life. That moment sparked a connection Kade never expected. Over the following weeks, their paths crossed more and more. She'd meet him during his breaks, asking questions about Earth customs, about slang, about music and food and the strange things humans did when they thought no one was watching. In return, she told him about the great waters of Shiluan, the glowing coral cities of her home world, and how her people communicated with colors through their skin and tentacles, language layered over spoken words. One afternoon, Kade brought her a gift, a scarf dyed in iridescent blues and greens. "For your tentacles," he said. "Not that they need help, but I thought you might like something earth-made." She touched the fabric with reverence. "This color. It reminds me of the tide pools on my moon. You continue to surprise me, Lieutenant Mercer." He smiled. "Call me Kade." She lowered her gaze slightly. "Then, I am simply Enshai." Their bond deepened, not romance, not yet, but something gentle, profound. Until everything changed on the day the station came under attack. The alarm klaxon screamed through the steel halls of Deep Orbit Station Vega-9 as Kade sprinted toward the diplomatic wing. Plasma bolts rocked the structure, sending tremors through the floor. A pirate fleet, Yarnock raiders, had dropped out of slipspace, ignoring all warnings. Their goal, to capture valuable alien dignitaries for ransom. Enshai was among their top targets. He reached the chamber just as 2 raiders kicked open the door. "Get down," he shouted, drawing his pulse rifle. The firefight was brutal and fast. Kade dropped one with a clean headshot, but the second managed to hurl a shock grenade into the room. The blast knocked Kade off his feet and sent Enshai crashing into the far wall. His ears rang. Blood trickled down his temple. The raider grabbed Enshai, activating a teleport tag on her shoulder. "No!" Kade roared, but it was too late. She vanished in a flash of light. The remaining pirates retreated. Reinforcements were arriving, but the damage had been done. Kade paced the command deck like a caged animal. "We can't wait for orders. They'll kill her if she resists, or worse." The captain frowned. "And you think you can find her alone?" "I'm not going alone," he said, holding up the tracker chip he'd sewn into the scarf he gave her. "I just need a fast ship and a good pilot." Within an hour, he was aboard a stealth-class corvette with a grim-faced helmsman and 2 gunners. They followed the faint signal across the edge of charted space, deep into Yarnock territory. The signal led them to a mining asteroid hollowed out into a makeshift base. Scanners showed minimal defenses, slavers, mostly. Still, the odds weren't great. Kade didn't care. They breached the base at midnight cycle. Plasma fire lit the corridors. Smoke choked the vents. Kade moved like a man possessed, cutting through resistance until he reached the prison cells. She was there. Bruised, her iridescent glow dulled, the scarf crumpled in her grasp. "Enshai," he breathed. Her eyes widened. "Kade." The cell door hissed open, and she stumbled forward, into his arms. Her tentacles wrapped around him instinctively, a defensive reflex. Then, slowly, she realized he wasn't pulling away. Instead, he held her tighter. "I told you they looked great," he whispered. "Still do." Her laughter trembled, uncertain and full of emotion. "You came for me." "Always." They returned to Vega-9 as heroes, the pirate base destroyed in the corvette's final strike. Enshai's people arrived days later, their gratitude immense, their diplomats eager to strengthen ties with Earth. But none of that mattered to Kade. What mattered was the look she gave him now, when her tentacles shifted gently toward him whenever he entered a room. When her skin lit up in warm, flowing hues of pink and amber, affection. One evening, beneath the artificial twilight of the observation deck, she stood beside him in silence, looking out at the stars. "I was taught that humans feared difference," she said. "Feared what they could not understand." Kade smiled. "Maybe some do. But not me." She turned to face him fully. "Do you know what it means, when one of my kind wraps their tentacles around another willingly?" He blinked. "Ah, no. It is the highest form of trust. Of intimacy." Before he could reply, she stepped forward, and her tentacles slipped gently around his waist, shoulders, back, holding him as if he were something fragile and precious. His heart thudded hard against his ribs. "I trust you, Kade Mercer," she whispered. And he, stunned but smiling, wrapped his arms around her in return. "Then maybe humans aren't as different as you thought." They stood like that in the starlight, the human and the alien, bonded by courage, kindness, and a single unexpected compliment that had changed everything.